Hi, this is the business guy. I just took my wife to Palm Beach for the weekend. You know, where do you go when you live in paradise? Well, you go 30 minutes from paradise. So we're up here for the weekend and just having a nice time, just relaxing time. I wanted to cover something about, you know, when you have a business, you run a business, or you're in sales, having those skills required to help the customer and help them understand the importance of getting past the procrastination that's natural in all of us is a big deal. If you want to you know, be in business, or if you want to be in sales, it's essential to have these skills. So I wanted to talk about two things. One is 95% of the time when you give a presentation, you're going to have an objection, or you're going to have a stall. And objections or stalls, you know, instead of panicking, saying, oh gosh, here's another, I want to think about it, I want to talk it over, I want to talk to my accountant, I want to talk to my attorney, I want to talk to my cousin Bobo. And so instead of, oh darn, you know, only 5% of the sales presentations are laydowns, only 5%. 95% you're going to have to overcome objections. So it's just part of the game. So instead of you know, freaking out and saying, oh my gosh, my life is ruined because this person came up with an objection, well, that's going to happen 95% of the cases, so you might as well get over it. The key thing is to know how to deal with it. So you don't want to headbutt when somebody says, I want to think it over. You don't say, oh, well, what do you want to think over? Somebody says, I want to talk to my cousin Bobo. You don't say, well, let's get cousin Bobo on the phone. Most of the time it's not going to work. They're going to come up with an excuse. Why? Because that's almost never their objection. The first objection is almost always a smokescreen. The real reason they're giving these smoke screens, there's 5 reasons. And this is your job to give certainty in these 5 areas. 1, you need to make them love the product. 2, trust and connect with you. 3, trust and connect with the company. So that's 1, 2, 3. Number 4, you need to lower the action threshold, make it easier for them to say yes. That might be price, terms, something to make it easy for them to say yes. And then finally, you need to raise the pain threshold, make them realize the seriousness of procrastinating and what it could really mean. That would be a painful situation in their lives. And we do this ethically, okay? So instead of confronting the smokescreen objection, which is almost always going to be the first thing they say when they object, is almost always going to be a smokescreen. You deflect it instead of headbutting it. So you say, I hear what you're saying, but let me ask you a question. Does the idea make sense to you? Do you like the idea? Or if it's a car, you say, oh, I hear what you're saying, but let me ask you a question. Does a car make sense to you? Do you like the car? Or whatever it is, whatever you're selling. So make sure that we are not headbutting the smoke screen, because almost every time the first objection is going to be a smoke screen. So we need to say, we simply deflect it and just see what their level of certainty is. So what we're doing as professionals in, you know, running a business or in sales is we need to create certainty in the prospect's mind, right? Before you buy something, you want to be certain it's right for you, correct? And that's what our jobs are as professionals, business owners or people who are in the sales profession, or just about any profession. You're an attorney, you're a physician, and you're trying to sell the client or the patient on doing the right thing, making the right decisions. And so we need to have these skills down. We need to know what to do, because every time, 95% of the cases, you're going to hear an objection. So you don't headbutt it, you simply deflect it. I hear what you're saying, but let me ask you a question. Does the idea make sense to you? Do you like the idea? And they're going to have a response that will indicate their level of certainty. So what you do once you get the response is you do what's called pace, lead. So whatever level of certainty they express, you come back to them with that same level of certainty. So if they say, yeah, sounds pretty good, you come back to them with that, they're at a 6 or a 5, you come back with that same level of certainty. Say, yeah, it really is pretty good. And it also has this benefit, and this benefit. And it has this benefit, and this benefit. That's pace, pace. Okay. Now you lead, and now you start raising your level of enthusiasm. Now you lead the enthusiasm to a higher level. And also, when you add all these up, you'll also get this, this, and this. Doesn't that make sense? So doesn't it make sense to go ahead and get this thing started right now? I mean, if you're in sales, you need to know how to do these things. So that's called, so the two skills we're talking about now is one, not headbutting the objection, but deflecting the objection to see where they are. Where are they on the certainty scale? If you say, yeah, I hear what you're saying. Well, let me ask you a question. Does the idea make sense to you? Do you like the idea? And they say, yeah, this is great. I love it. And you say, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, in fact, it has this benefit, and this benefit too. So we're meeting them at the level where they're at in our response, in whatever the response is to that deflection question. And then we lead them to a higher level of certainty, higher level of enthusiasm. So let's make sure we master those skills. Number one, don't headbutt the objection, deflect it to see where they are. Because really, it's those 5 things that we need to convince people on. Make sure they love the product. If they love the product, they trust and connect with you. They trust and connect with the company. And if they have, make it easy enough for them to say yes, and it's something they really do need. Of course, we're doing this ethically, right? We're doing this for the client's best interest, or the prospect's best interest. And then if they're feeling a sufficient level of pain that what we're selling would relieve, and we're doing this in an ethical way, those are the 5 things that lead to the customer saying yes. Okay? So make sure to master those things. Number one, deflect the first objection. Don't headbutt it. And number 2, when they give you a response to that deflection question, we pace them. In other words, we reply with the same level of certainty they expressed to that question. Okay? And then you pace them, and then you lead them to a higher level of certainty and a higher level of enthusiasm. So that's the 2 skills, deflection and pace, lead. Have a great day.